Welcome back to another edition of TCM Graduate TV. I'm Kenton Sevcik, registered acupuncturist. This is episode 51, and we're going to review heavy hitter Spleen 9 today. However, before we do, I've got an honorable mention, and that's Spleen 8. And the reason it's an honorable mention is because it's a Chi cleft point. If you recall, Chi cleft points differ between yin channel and yang channel, or yin organ and yang organ. When we talk about a yin organ, like here the spleen, we're talking more about controlling bleeding, acute bleeding at that. And when we're talking about a yang organ, we're usually talking about pain. Another good example of this is how lung 6 helps treat acute bleeding nose, and how stomach 34 helps treat acute stomach pain. So here, because we have spleen holding and controlling blood in the vessels, and we talk about blood, and most of the time when we talk about blood with our patients, we're talking about menstrual blood. So there's all this kind of like web theory. However, what I'm getting to is the fact that Spleen 8 is really good for excessive menstrual bleeding. In general, it's also good for dysmenorrhea, so painful menstruation. And it can also be good for treating abdominal masses, whether that be in the uterus or otherwise. So Spleen 8, Chi cleft, helps control blood. Spleen helps control and hold blood in the vessels. I'm going to erase this and we're going to move on through to Spleen 9. All right, so Spleen 9. The first thing we have to mention is that Spleen 9 is a He point. Remembering that He points are found at the region of elbow and the region of knee. And if we do mirroring theory, just for a second to borrow from that, as we move down our arm or up our leg, the elbow and the knee area represent the middle of us. So not only do we say that He points affect the organ directly and just basically say, hey spleen, I really don't care what you've been gotten on with, that's fine. You just need to get your poop in a group, right? You need to get your crap together, figure yourself out, just fix yourself. That's basically what we say when we say these He points affect the organ directly. They're just very good kind of regulators, almost like back shu points, maybe front mu points, those sort of things. So Spleen 9, He point, absolutely great for just telling the spleen in general to function better. And that's why I think a lot of people, they like to use Spleen 6 and a Spleen 9 in combination. So you've got the spleen acupuncture point, Spleen 6 on the acupuncture channel, which is a very powerful acupuncture point, telling the spleen, again, to tonify, to work better. And because there's a three yin channel meeting there as well, tonifies yin in general. And then you've got the He point. Lots of people like to use them together. I like pairing. I like to do interior-exterior related pair. So when we talked about Spleen 6, I mentioned that I like to pair Spleen 6 with Stomach 36, which is in your interior-exterior related pair. And same thing when we get to Spleen 9, I like to pair it with its interior-exterior related pair, Stomach. So one of the best reasons we're going to use Spleen 9 is because it drains damp. And oftentimes when we've got dampness, we've got phlegm as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into its pair that I just mentioned about, and that will be Stomach 40. So Stomach 40 transforms phlegm. So anytime I use a Spleen 9, I'm using a Stomach 40. Anytime I'm using a Stomach 40, I'm using a Spleen 9. They're buds. So Spleen 6, Stomach 36, they're buddies, they like to hang out together. And Spleen 9, Stomach 40, they're buddies, they like to hang out together. And it's just fabulous. So if you have a patient and there is edema, there's maybe swelling, maybe you've got, you have dampness, you've got phlegm, other great acupuncture points to augment your treatment are So Ren 9 is absolutely fabulous for especially edema and water retention. It's kind of known as like water passage, so it kind of helps get rid of extra water. Ren 5 is excellent as well because it's the front moo collecting point of triple warmer. And also UB39 just next to UB40 on the back of the knee. So hopefully you can read that. That's the lower Hussey point of the triple warmer. So that will help drain things. So these are all absolutely wonderful points. If I'm running into really stubborn dampness, phlegm, and a lot of times it's based on spleen chi deficiency, I have no problem doing spleen 6, stomach 36, and spleen 9, stomach 40, all of them together. And oftentimes with these acupuncture points. So there you have it. The big bad heavy hitter review on spleen 9. Absolutely wonderful acupuncture point. Remember, it's buddies with stomach 40, so use those together. I've successfully been able to shrink uterine masses with, spleen 10, spleen 9, stomach 40, and then of course local acupuncture points like Ren 2, Ren 3, extra CA1. Those are all absolutely wonderful acupuncture points. So they are powerful if used over a long period of time. Just want to remind you that safety is king, bedside manner is king, and results are king in that order. Thanks for watching my videos, and we'll see you on the next one.